There's that man again.
So everybody wants to talk about panty dropper fragrances. It's actually a pretty good segment. But today, I want to do something different. Yeah, I'm getting ready to talk about those touch and play fragrances. Stay tuned, I'll tell you about them. What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Teddy Files. And today, we talk about those beautiful touch and play fragrance that will have your significant other very touchy-feely and very playful. So the first one that we have on the list is a beautiful vanilla tobacco sweet patchouli fragrance that absolutely love. It's one of my favorite wintertime fragrances, and that would be Robert Graham Fortitude. So this fragrance is one that I actually had in my cart for a while. It's one that I was extremely interested in. I always try to do what I can to break away from, well, not break away from the norm, because there are other people that actually have this fragrance. I don't hear about a lot of people that have it, and I kind of like to get my hands on those fragrances that are kind of off the beaten path. And this is definitely one, and it's an absolutely gorgeous fragrance. I'll spray it up in the air here, man. And it has a 3-note breakdown. So the 3 notes are tonka bean, tobacco, and patchouli. But there's so much more going on here, man. There's it smells boozy. It smells like tobacco, but there's no tobacco mentioned in the notes. But you can smell a hint of tobacco in this fragrance, and it is an extremely sensual and sexy one of those types of fragrances that makes you want to get close to the person that's wearing it. It's a gorgeous fragrance. It is definitely one that well, we're not even talking about turning heads today, are we? We're really talking about the touch and play fragrance, and the lady or person in your life that enjoys these types of fragrances, because for the most part, I've never really seen or even heard about a lot of people that are really not into sweet fragrances, especially like myself, because my lady, she likes sweet fragrances. I wear sweet fragrances; it's a perfect combination. And when I wear this, she's very touchy and extremely playful. So I don't know if you're gonna get the same experience as I do, but I tell you what, getting your hands on this can't hurt. And that will be Robert Graham's Fortitude. The next fragrance that I have is a woody amber balsamic fragrance that is somewhat powdery but extremely sexy, and that would be Franck Boclet's Tonka. So this fragrance is a recent acquisition, and I did a wearing in the house because you can't really wear these types of fragrances outside. It's another one of those sweeter fragrances. And man, I was impressed. This fragrance right here, as you see, the atomizer is amazing, but the fragrance itself, it is extremely sexy. It's very, how can I say it? It's a powdery nuance to it, but it's more vanilla than powdery, almost like a powdery vanilla combo. Some of the notes are fig leaf, ginger, lemon, almond, cedar, white peach, tonka bean, Peru balsam, and sandalwood. So you catch the tonka bean and a lot of the sandalwood as well throughout the entire fragrance. You catch some of the fig leaf at the top, which is what gives you a little bit of that sweetness, and some of the not so much sharpness, but I would say a little bit of the balance that this fragrance has, because it's an extremely well balanced fragrance, comes from the ginger. So you have this combination, and as the dry down starts to kick in, it gets more of a vanilla type type of deal going on with it. It stays powdery for the most part throughout the entire fragrance, but it's not a feminine powder. It's definitely more of a masculine leaning type of powdery fragrance, and it's awesome. And when I tell you, this is one of the fragrances that, you know, if you have that type of connection with the person that you're with, this is definitely one that will get them to want to touch and play. That would be Franck Boclet Tonka. The next fragrance up is a vanilla, somewhat powdery and woody fragrance. It's a clone of Parfums de Marly's Leighton, and that would be Al Haramain's Detour Noir. So this is another one that I got last year. I gave it one full wearing, and that was all I needed to see that this was not, this ain't a fragrance to be played with. Now, is it on the same level as Parfum de Marly's Leighton? Absolutely not. They're going to use different materials and things of that nature, because that is, after all, a niche fragrance. But this right here, this does the job as well. Beautiful atomizer. Water Hove is a banana atomizer, but the smell, I mean, oh man, this is great. I mean, that you smell the almond, the ambers. A lot of the sweeter notes come in at the beginning of it. The almond, the amber, the jasmine. I mean, you got the musk, sandalwood, the cedar, Halethorpe, jasmine, cypress. All of it comes together to give you this somewhat thick fragrance, but it's blended so well to where it's more smooth than anything. And it's another one of those fragrances that will have your significant other ready to touch and play, because this fragrance right here is not to be played with unless you want to be played with. Hey. So, make sure you get your hands on Al Haramain's Detour Noir. So the next fragrance that I have up is a beautiful, warm, spicy, leathery fragrance, but not so leathery to where it's grating, and that would be Salvatore Ferragamo's Uomo signature. So I'm going to read the note breakdown for you guys, and that would be pink pepper, Italian mandarin, grapefruit, cinnamon, cardamom, cypress, tonka bean, and leather, roasted coffee, and patchouli. So you got all of those flavors, all of that scent, all of those fragrances melded together to give you this. Oh my God, that is a beautiful fragrance, man. This fragrance right here, to me, it has such a warm, sensual nature to it. It is a cozy fragrance. It's fragrant. It's a cozy enough fragrance to turn heads when you walk past people, but it's also cozy enough to where when someone gets close to you, it's not going to be overpowering. It's not going to overwhelm them. It's just warm enough to be, man, just once again, like the title says, this right here is a touch and play fragrance. And once they smell this on you, touching and playing might be the least of your worries. So, you want to have a little fun? Have a little fun with Salvatore Ferragamo signature. So the very last fragrance that I have on my list is a warm, spicy, somewhat metallic fragrance. And one of the more beautiful things about this fragrance is not just the smell, but the bottle itself. And that would be Aurentica Amber Rouge. So let me give you the fragrance breakdown, or the note breakdown first. You got your saffron, your jasmine, your amber wood, your ambergris, cedar, and fir resin, all to come together to give you this beautiful, ambery, woody, warm, spicy fragrance that, oh my goodness, the other day I wore this in office, and the entire day I got compliments. And I've had that happen with a couple of fragrances, but not as much as this one. This fragrance it's a nuclear performer. It's going to last all day on your skin, and it doesn't stop. It actually keeps going. So Now, what I'll say, it's not as potent as when you first spray it, but it'll pump off your skin all day long. People told me that they could actually smell the sillage from this up the hallway, but it's not so powerful and cloying that when someone's close to you, that's going to overpower the situation or overpower the area. It's just blended together so beautifully, so smoothly, to where whether they're far away or close enough to be right on your hip, it's not going to push anyone away. It is a beautiful, sexy fragrance, and is a perfect alternative to what it's cloning, which would be Baccarat Rouge. I mean, unless you have about $500 to $700 to drop on a fragrance, I would say that in the $64 range, this is a beautiful option to have. And I've got about 8 to 10 hours out of it each time I wore it, so longevity is not a problem. Has a little bit of a metallic tinge to it, but it's not a tinge to where it's clawing, or where it's going to be something that's going to be pushing people away. It is a very alluring fragrance, and is one that I would recommend that you get your hands on. And once again, like I tell you in every video, I will leave a link in the description box for each one of these fragrances that I'm talking about today, so you can go get your own. But if you truly want to touch and play, get your hands on this, and that will not be a problem. And that will be Orenticas Amber Rouge. Well, those are the 5 fragrances that I had to talk about, but I do have 2 honorable mentions that I do want to get into the video, because they're both considered extremely good date night fragrances, but I would also have to put them into the category of touch and play fragrances, and that would be Dolce Gabbana's The One and Mercedes-Benz Club Black. Both of these fragrances are sweet, extremely exquisite date night fragrances. I mean, you got, with this one, you have your amber and you got your tobacco, and man, this is a sexy ass fragrance. This is a sexy ass fragrance, man. Dolce Gabbana knew what the hell they were doing. I'm gonna give them a clap on that one. This is a sexy ass fragrance, man. If you don't already have it, make sure you get your hands on this one. And the next time you go out on your date night with your significant other, or whoever you go out on the date with, they're definitely gonna notice this beautiful fragrance on your skin. Now, it doesn't last very long. Not this one anyway. This is the EDT, but I don't know how long you plan on being on the date. I don't know if you got a 8-hour date planned, but from what I've noticed, what I've ever seen, any dates I've been on last about 2 to 4 hours. That's all you need. That's all you need for this to be on your skin, and it's definitely a game changer. But as is this. Now, this will last on your skin a little bit longer. This is a vanilla forward fragrance, and man, this is a game changer. Game-changing fragrance. Beautiful date night fragrance, beautiful vanilla scent. You cannot go wrong with either one of these 2. So once again, like I say, for my honorable mentions at the end of the video, that will be Dolce Gabbana's The One and Mercedes-Benz Club Black. Well, everyone, that is my time for the touch and play fragrances. And please hit me in the comment section to let me know what you thought about this video. Let me know what you thought about the selections. Once again, I want to thank you guys for tuning into my channel. I truly appreciate the fact that you did, because I know you didn't have to. And please make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and share buttons to help the channel grow, because the channel has been growing, and I truly appreciate everyone who has joined the Sophisticated Grizzly and the Teddy Files channel. And once again, everyone, you know exactly who I am. You know I am Mr. De'Aaron's Teddy. I am also the Sophisticated Grizzly and your resident sommelier. And remember, over here, we don't do stink. So please, don't be a stink ass. Have a good night.